Alrighty, hi, welcome everybody. So I know we're not doing this live or in person today, so I might not be able to correct people or answer your immediate questions, but I'm trusting all of you, especially for my people that have been returning, that you are used to this stuff, and I'll do my best to continue to explain if I layer on any new things. So hi, welcome. This is our mindful movement class for today. You're only going to need, so same equipment that we have been using pretty regularly, a ball-shaped object of some sort, preferably with letters and numbers on it. So I'm holding up, in case you can't see me, I'm holding up a tennis ball and a big blue squishy ball about twice the size of my head or so. And I've got an equal number of letters and numbers, and also I always forget to tell people this in case you're in the middle of making a ball, an equal number of even and odd numbers and an equal number of, doesn't have to be equal, but all of the vowels and then some consonants. So for those of you that have been coming to my class, you know why. It just has to do with some of the brain speed games that I layer on when we use this ball. If you don't have a ball, no worries. We can use a rolled up pair of socks, preferably with an interesting pattern for your eyes to look at. And if you don't have a rolled up pair of socks, you could do a dog toy, that's usually easily accessible, or a rag, maybe with some patterning of some sort. Okay, so just a ball of some sort, and then 2 pencils or forks or cooking utensils, something that you can hold in each hand. It can also just be your fingers if that's more accessible for you. Great. As always today, especially for this class, because we do some visual and vestibular work, please take it slow. We're assuming that you've checked in with some kind of a medical medical professional of some sort before taking these kinds of classes. But if we're doing some of the visual vestibular work and you find that you're getting dizzy or nauseous or something like that, slow down, back off, close your eyes, grab some water, do whatever works for you. And when we're coming into those exercises, always moving slowly, doing a small range of motion. And that should also help with some of that dizziness. Remember, dizziness and a little bit of nausea or whatever you might be feeling isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means that you've met your limit. So it's fine to meet the limit. We just don't want to go too far past it. Yes, just a couple of other things. As always, make sure you've got a big arm's distance space around you. And I am actually, okay, we'll leave that on my screen like that. And I think that is it. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything, especially because we're not live in person, so this is slightly different. Great. Okay, so I'm going to have you come back to a seated or a standing position of some sort. Alrighty. Actually, I'm going to stay close because it might be kind of loud in here right now. All right, so I want you to get nice and grounded on the floor. If it's safe and accessible for you, feel free to slip off your socks and your shoes. If that's not safe or accessible, don't worry about it. So you can either have your feet directly on the floor or maybe on the base of your chair. All right, we'll close the eyes. We'll start to settle into the body a little bit more. Feeling what's going on in the body today. Maybe moving your head around, your shoulders around a little bit, and just noticing if there's any sticky parts. If there's any parts that feel a little tight or a little restricted today. Noticing where your breath is going. Noticing how the back of your body is feeling. All the way down through the backs of your legs, through the bottoms of your feet. I want you to set your intention for class today. So that could be any goal you might have for today in particular or something you've been working on. Let's take one more inhale, one more exhale, and we'll open the eyes. Awesome. Okay. Let's just start with a little bit of a shake. So just shaking out the arms. If you're standing, you can shake out the legs. Try to get that glare out of the way. Just noticing where your breath is still. Okay. All right, we're going to take the hands. We're going to spread the fingers if you're able to, reaching the hands up towards the ceiling. Shrug the shoulders up, inhale, and exhale, let the arms just collapse down by your side. Inhale, actively reach up towards the sky, shrug up. And exhale, let the hands just collapse by your side. 2 more like that. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, collapse. And last one, inhale, reaching up. And exhale, collapse. Good. Hang on 1 second. I'm just going to change one thing on my screen here. Let's see. Okay, great. Alrighty. We're going to bring fingertips to just below the collarbones. And we're going to tap that area just under the collarbones. You can use your knuckles if that's easier. Remember, this movement always helps calm the nervous system a little bit. Good. And I want you to take your hands or your knuckles, whatever you're able to, around the back of your neck. And I'm going to pull my skin just gently, pull my skin from the back to the front of my neck. And as I do that, I'm going to look up towards the ceiling. Hands come to the back of the neck, pulling the skin from the back to the front as I look up. I'm just going to have you do that a few times. Looking down, and then as you pull that skin, looking up. Last one. Pulling that skin, and then looking up. Sorry, I'm just changing one more thing on my screen. There we go. Okay, great. That's better. Alrighty. Good, we're gonna find that body tapping here. So whichever side you want to start on, we'll start from the chest, working our way down the inside of the arm to the hand, and then up the outside of the arm, up and over the shoulder. Down the inside of the arm, and then up the outside of the arm. Last one. Down the inside, and then up the outside. You can get around the armpits, the front of the chest. Good. And I'm actually going to leave my hand up over that shoulder, and I'm actually going to push it down a little bit. Okay, so my arm is crossed over my chest. I'm actively pushing that arm down, and then I'm just going to lean my head away from that arm that I'm pushing down. So just tilting your head to one side. We're all doing different sides, most likely, so just tilt it away. And I want you to look down at that armpit on the far side. So you should be feeling a stretch more in the back of your neck. And then release. Great. Let's tap going the other way. So other arm, tapping down the inside of the arm. Out to the hand, give the hand maybe a little bit of a rub, and coming back up the outside. Down the inside, and up the outside. And remember, this could be a tap, it could be a rub, it could be a knock. I sometimes like to vary the kind of the kind of sensation that I'm giving to my skin in that area. Getting around the armpit. Okay, and I'm gonna take that shoulder, I'm gonna pull it down, tilt my head away from that shoulder, find a nice neck stretch there. Breathing into that, and then looking down into that other armpit. You should feel this more through the back of the neck. Good, and then release everything. I'm just gonna have you find a few shoulder circle rolls. So you're gonna inhale to shrug up and exhale down and around. Inhale up, exhale down and around. If you want to bring the spine into this a little bit more, as you shrug the shoulders up and down and around, lift your chest up towards the ceiling. And as you shrug the shoulders up, I'm rounding my spine forward. So as the shoulders go down and back, I lift my chest. And as the shoulders shrug up, I round my chest. Lift shoulders down, round shoulders up. Lift, shoulders down, round, shoulders up. Awesome. And then we're going to bring hands to the knees. And we're going to do that same movement, but we're going to take the shoulders out of it. We're just going to do this from our spine. In fact, I'm going to, you see my side profile here, okay? So I want you to round that spine back. Try to tuck your chin into your chest, as if you were trying to round your spine into a ball. And then I want you to pull into your knees and lift your chest and everything forward so you're seated nice and tall. Round the spine down. And then lift your heart through your chest. Exhale to round. And inhale to lift. Good. I'm going to have you keep going through that. I'm getting some background noise, so I'm just going to close a couple windows here, but keep lifting and rounding. Inhale to lift and exhale to round. Go ahead and do one more. Inhale to lift and exhale round. Awesome. Okay. Coming to a little bit more of our self-touch to increase our awareness here. So now if you bring your hands or your knuckles to the base of your ribs, I'm just going to have you find that pressure from the back of your ribs to the front. So you're just tracing the outline of the bottom of your ribs. You're noticing if there's tender areas. You're noticing if one side is maybe harder to press into than the other. And if you've been doing this for a while and you feel like you can dig in a little bit more, you feel like there's more give in your body, then take up that space with your hands. Remember, your organs like to move. Your organs they're not glued down in your intra-abdominal space. They move around and they're floating around. So this kind of self-touch can be really helpful to maybe give some of those organs a little bit of love if they're stiff or sticky for whatever reason. I'm going to bring your hands to the top of your hips, so feeling the bony part of your hips. You're going to do the same thing, tracing the top outlining of your hips from the back to the front, using your thumbs, using your knuckles, whatever you've got access to. And notice if you get to a sticky spot, you can always hold. Take an inhale and an exhale. and then keep moving your hands. So sometimes it's just nice to hold a little bit of pressure and breathe if you feel a tender area. Okay, we'll bring hands to the belly. We'll find a clockwise circular direction, rub. Same thing with this that I was mentioning last week. If you feel comfortable and if there's give in your body, comfortable give. I don't want you to force this. Forcing it won't really help much. But if there's give in your body and you can push a little bit more, and same thing, you can breathe into those areas just to give that whole intra-abdominal area a little bit of love, a little bit of movement that maybe it's not getting. Okay, good. And the knuckles are going to come to your low back, this is where your kidneys are. Give a little gentle tap up and down. I'm just using the back of my knuckles. You can use whatever feels right for you. Okay. And then coming to our legs, last thing we'll finish with. So you're going to be tapping down the outside of the legs and then up the inside of the legs. You can go all the way down to your feet if you've got access to your feet. Down the outside and up the inside. The last one. And up the inside. Awesome. Okay, we'll bring this to the feet. I'm just going to show you here so you've got a little bit better of a view. So for those of you that have your socks and shoes off, I'm going to have you either find that interlacing of your fingers between your toes, if you're able to do that, or just taking the toes and doing that bottle cap twisting, maybe 5 or 6 twists per toe. If you don't have access or that's not accessible for your feet, remember you're just going to be working your lower leg. So you're dragging your knuckles or your hands from your ankles towards your knees, just trying to get some of that fluid moving, giving the fascia a little bit of love there. You can find a twist around your ankle. If you find a sensitive spot, you can give a little extra love to that area. If you're working on the toes, you can move all of the toes back towards you and away from you, flexing and curling, rubbing the arch of the foot, rubbing the outside of the foot. Okay, and then we'll switch feet. Same thing here, finding the bottle cap twisting of each toe, maybe 5 or 6 twists per toe. You could interlace your fingers between all of the toes, or you could be doing that ankle to knee rub or your ankle twist. So whatever you have access to. Noticing if there's a difference between your feet, between your ankles, between your calves. Maybe spending a little bit of extra time on the side that needs it. All right. So we'll release the feet. We'll come back to the hands. I'm going to have you find a hand rub. Rubbing your knuckles or your palms together. Good. If you can interlace the fingers, we'll interlace, and I want you to push the palms forward. If you can't interlace, we'll still push the palms forward. Fingers are facing in towards each other. And then bring it back. And then fingers laced or not, press your knuckles towards me. So my fingers are still facing in, but my knuckles are facing towards the camera. And then bring them back in. Let's just do one more each way. Palm faces the camera. And then knuckles face the camera. Good. I want you to shake the wrists. If you're able to do you're flicking of the fingers, like you're getting water off your fingers, you can do that. Otherwise, you're just shaking. Good. And then I want you to find a wrist roll. So just moving your wrist in a circular position, doesn't matter which way you're going. And then switching directions. Yeah, and can we bring that right into an elbow circle? And for those of you that are standing, you could be doing knee and elbow circles here. Okay, so moving the knees and the elbows. So I'm just circling my hands around my elbows. Okay, and then we're going to come up to our goalpost position. We're just going to find our internal and external rotation. You can use this as a test, retest if you'd like. This is just more for a shoulder warm up. Good, just noticing if there's a difference there. Okay. And then coming to the shoulder. So I just want you to come right into a back stroke. So one arm pulls behind you and then the other arm. I want your eyes and your head to stay on the arm that's pulling behind you. Just finding a nice, even, smooth breath. And last one. Okay, good. Arms are going to come behind you. If you're able to interlace the fingers, go for it. Otherwise, you're just reaching. And I want you to leave your hands behind you like this, and we're going to find a roll down. So you're going to roll chin to chest, chest to ribs. Your arms are going to float, so my fingers are reaching up towards the ceiling while my head is towards the floor. Okay? Your fingers can also be interlaced here. You might find a really nice chest stretch there. And then I'm slowly going to roll myself back up to a seated position. We're going to do that 2 more times. Leave your hands behind you if you're able to. Find that roll down. As your hands and your fingers reach up towards the ceiling, inhale and then exhale to roll and stack your spine up 1 vertebra at a time. Last one. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, dive down. Hands up to the ceiling. And then slowly roll your way back up. Awesome. Alrighty. Before we continue with a little bit of that work, let's just find our test retest here. So let's just start with an overhead arm raise. So just lifting both arms up overhead, noticing how that's feeling today, noticing how that's feeling maybe compared to all of the other times that you've done it. Looking at the difference between your arms. So if you're new and you're just joining us today, we do a series of these reassessments throughout our session to see if the drills that we're working on are helping us, not helping us, or hurting us. So it's just a good check-in throughout the session. Okay, let's bring hands together out in front of you. You're going to find a thoracic rotation in one direction and then in the other. And remember, you're noticing your range of motion, your ease of movement, your breath. And we'll come back to the center. And then cervical rotation, so just the head is going to turn to the right, and just the head turns left. Just going back and forth. Okay. And am I missing one? Yeah, for my athletes on the floor, you could be doing a push-up. For my standing athletes, you could be doing a squat or a sit to stand. You could also do a single leg balance and just kind of see how your balance is on each side. Or you could be doing a hip hinge. So just a double leg hip hinge, flat back, neutral pelvis to hinge forward and back upright. Okay, same thing, you're just reassessing how the body's feeling, maybe how far you can go down, all of those good things. Okay, so I'm gonna have you grab your ball-shaped object of some sort. Okay, and we're just gonna start with our game of letter ball. So as always, for those of you that have been coming to class and have been playing letter ball for a while, please feel free to go right into it. But in case we have any new faces on here today, I'm just gonna go ahead and walk you through this again. Okay, but if you know what you're doing, just start playing letter ball. So you've got your ball of some sort. You start with that ball into your chest. I'm going to pull it away from my chest. I'm going to turn my head to look at the ball. I'm going to say the number or the letter out loud. So I see a 5, and I'm going to bring it back in. I'm going to pull it away from my chest in a different direction. I see a 3, and I'm going to bring it back in. Pull it out in a different direction, 1, and I bring it back in. So I'm just going to continue to move that ball all the way around me in various directions, and my head and my eyes are going to pinpoint a particular letter or number on that ball. If you don't have a letter or number, then I just want you to pinpoint a particular spot on that ball. Maybe it's a piece of dirt, maybe it's the logo or the brand on the ball, or the sock, or whatever it is you're using. If you're able to catch and throw, you can start to bring that into a game basically of catching with yourself. So you're going to throw that ball around you, all the way around you, catching it in various positions. So wherever you catch it, stop it, right where you catch it, read it, and then you keep going. Stop, read it, and then keep going. If you've got a wall, you can play with yourself against the wall. If you've got a partner, you can play with a partner. And I just want you to go, we're going to do this one for a few minutes. And yes, I am going to layer on the letters and the vowels and even in the odd numbers that we've been working on. But just giving you a little bit of a warm up here. So the goal of this game is to warm up our eyes, really to warm up our whole bodies. But when we can warm up our eyes, and for our eyes to be able to see and look all the way around us, it allows our bodies to move in those directions where maybe we didn't feel as safe to move before. So you might notice, like, ooh, you know what, I never throw the ball up in the right-hand corner. So you're just noticing, where are you avoiding bringing or throwing or catching that ball, okay? That might be what we call one of your gaps, where maybe your eyes don't like to go in that certain direction. Okay, I'm gonna layer on, so I want you to keep playing and just listen to me as I talk this through. So when you catch a letter, let's see, when you catch a letter, I'm gonna have you lift the right side of your body. So you can either lift your right arm, you can lift your right elbow, you can even just shrug up your right shoulder if that's more accessible, or you can lift your right knee up. So just lift your right foot off the floor. Letter, lift the right side of your body. Number, lift the left side of your body. Elbow, knee, shoulder, or leg, okay? So let's just start with that. So whatever you see, remember, letter is right side of your body. Number is left side of your body. And you're trying to make that decision as quickly as you can. Okay, so we're bringing brain speed more into this letter ball. I still want you throwing that all the way around you. It's okay if this one takes you longer. It should take you longer because now your brain really has to associate a movement with something that you're seeing. It has to make a decision. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna layer on again. If you see, let's see, so number is left side of your body. If it's an even number, you're gonna look to the right. So you're gonna lift the left side of your body. You're gonna look to the right if it's an even number. If it's an odd number, you're still gonna lift the left side of your body, and then you're gonna look to the left. Even number, look right. Odd number, look left. Even number right, odd number left. Keep playing, keep playing, keep playing. I know I can't watch you live, but I trust that you all, that you all know what you're doing. Even number, look right. Odd number, look left. Okay, I'm gonna layer on one more time. You can take it or leave it. You do not have to take this. But for those of you that have been doing this for a while, I encourage you to take this next level. So we're just gonna add in the consonants and vowels. Even number, you look right. Odd number, you look left. Okay, when you catch a letter, remember you're still lifting the right side of your body. When it's a vowel, you're gonna look right. When it's a consonant, look left. Vowel, right. Consonant, left. Even number, right. Odd number, left. Okay, go for maybe another minute or two. Keep playing with yourself or moving that ball around you. Gosh, I've already forgotten. Vowel, you look right. Consonant, you look left. Even number, right. Odd number, look left. Keep going, everyone. You're doing great. You're doing great. Maybe just a few more throws and catches. I am definitely slowing down. I don't know about anybody else. All right, I'll do one more throw and then relax. Okay, good. Okay, good. So not easy, not easy. Okay, go ahead and just give the shoulders and everything a shake. Every time I play that game, I forget how hard it is with all of the levels that we layer on. Okay, so let's find our check, recheck. So we'll start with an overhead arm raise. Noticing if there's a difference, remember, with range of movement, with ease of movement. You need to look at the two sides and compare, go for it. We'll find our shoulder internal and external rotation. So my hands are in a goalpost position, just rotating the hands up and down. Good. We'll find our cervical rotation, so head right and then left. Going back and forth, noticing if there's a difference from the first time we did it. Thoracic rotation, so hands together out in front of you, rotating to the right and then to the left. A little bit better. If you're on the floor, you could be doing a push-up, you could be doing a bridge. If you're a standing athlete, maybe you're doing some squats, sit-to-stands, maybe some hip hinges, or a single leg balance. Okay, good. So I normally ask if that improved, thumbs up. If it was no improvement, side thumb, and if you got worse, a downward thumb. I can't see you, but feel free to throw up a thumb rating just for your own memory. Yeah, okay, good. All right. Put the ball to the side for a sec. I'm gonna have you grab your two pencils or cooking utensils of some sort. Just give everyone a second to grab those. Okay, and we're gonna play here with these. So let's see, how do I want you to start? You're gonna bring, yes, sorry, okay, just thinking this through. So both pencils are gonna be out to your side. So my arms are out to my side. So I can't see my pencils right now. For those of you who are unable to see, just hang with me for a sec because we're gonna bring this right into rotation. You're gonna be doing the same movement that we're doing. But just to start, I want those of you that are able to see the pencils, bring those pencils forward just so that they're in your periphery vision. Just note how far away those pencils are from each other, okay? And if you play maybe with one side, bringing it forward back, can you still see it out of your periphery vision? So remember, your eyes and your head and your nose are all facing forward, but can you still see that pencil out of the very corner of your eye? So I want you to find the spot where you can still see those pencils in the corner of your eye, okay? We're gonna bring our rotation right into this and our tongue right into this like we've been working on. So I want you to poke your tongue into the right side of your cheek. Okay, you can keep if you're able to keep your lips closed, go for it. Then I want you to turn and rotate to the right. And now I want you to look at that right pencil that should be behind you now. So my arms kind of move with me as I rotate. You're looking at that pencil behind you. Your tongue is pressing into the side of your cheek. And then come back to the center, okay? Press your tongue into the left side of your cheek. Rotate left. And then turn your head and your neck so you can see that left pencil that you're holding in your left hand. Can you go a little bit further? Can you rotate a little bit more? Or can you challenge your eyes more and maybe even look more left than the pencil is? Come back to the center. Poke the tongue into the right side of the cheek. Rotate right. Look at the right pencil. Go a little bit more if you're able to. Back to the center. Bring your head to the center. Poke the tongue into the left side of your cheek. Rotate left. Look back at that left pencil. Challenge yourself. Can you go further? And then back to the center. Set the arms down. Give the arms a shake. Remember, for those of you that maybe only have, are only able to hold a pencil on one side of your body, when you're rotating towards the side of your body that can't hold a pencil, just use something on the wall behind you to focus your eyes on. Okay, so it's okay if you're only able to hold one pencil. Bring the hands out again. Okay, out to your side. Pencils are in your periphery vision. Right pencil goes up, left, let's just leave right pencil up. In fact, let your left arm relax so that left arm can rest on your lap. I want you to poke that tongue up into the right side upper cheek. Rotate to the right. Keep your eyes on the right pencil. So you're now looking up at that pencil. And come back to the center. Bring the hand in. Left hand goes up into the side. Rotate left. Poke your tongue into that left cheek. I know there's a lot going on. Okay. Can you push yourself? Can you go further? Back to the center. Tongue to the right. Bring your right arm up. Rotate right. Look at that pencil. I want you to focus on it, no blurry pencils. And then back to the center. Last one, tongue up into the left, hand up into the left. Rotate left, challenge yourself here. Back to the center. We're gonna go quicker. Tongue lower right. Right arm is down and to your right. Rotate. Bring that pencil as low and to the right as you can. And center. Tongue left, Left pencil is down and to the left. Rotate as far to the left as you can. Look down and left as far as you can. You should be straining your eyes here. For those of you that are unable to see, that's okay. You're still getting this whole head, neck, and torso movement. Come back to the center, one more each way. Stay with me. Tongue lower right, hand down and to the right, rotate. And center, tongue lower left, hand down to the left, and back to the center. Awesome. Come back to the center. Go ahead and drop both of your pencils. Okay, great. We're just going to do a couple more things, and then we'll wrap up here. Okay. So I'm going to have you, let's stay with the arms crossed across the chest. Okay. So my hands are on my opposite shoulders. I'm going to bring my head with me. We're going to go right into some vestibular work. Okay, so I'm just going to start with my seated athletes. And then my standing athletes do something slightly different. For my seated athletes, we're going to do our kind of like roller coaster body rolls. So I want your torso to start to draw a circle. Maybe watch me first if you haven't done this before. Your torso is going to start to draw a circle as if you were drawing a circle on the ceiling with your head. So everything, my head and my torso is moving with me. As I roll around, I let my eyes go with my head, okay? So that we're training and we're working your vestibular system more. I want you to maybe start with 3 slow circles in each direction. Pause, reassess. If you're dizzy, take your break. If you feel good, maybe do 3 more circles in each direction. You can increase the speed, or you can increase the range of motion that your body's moving, okay? So I'm just gonna give you a second to do those 3 circles in each way. For my standing athletes, you're gonna be spinning, okay? So you're just gonna be standing and you're gonna be spinning. Your eyes and your head and your neck are going with you. You're gonna do the same thing. Maybe start with 3 circles in one direction, reassess if you're dizzy, pause, breathe, close the eyes if you need to, and then you'll do 3 circles in the other direction. Okay, so remember, working this vestibular system is really important. It helps with our proprioception, it helps with our eyes, it helps with our inner ears, and it therefore helps with our movement and how we're orienting around all of those systems. Okay, so I'm just going to give you all of you, obviously I can't see you all right now, but I'm just going to give you a few seconds to wrap that up. If you're still spinning, keep spinning. If you've gotten dizzy, maybe take a break, close your eyes. Closing the eyes helps because it gets rid of the visual system. So it's kind of like shutting down one of your systems so things can recalibrate. Okay. Okay, so go ahead and relax there. And I'm going to bring you right into some patterning, okay? So fists or hands are going to tap the knees, and then you're going to cross the hands over the chest and tap the chest. Cross the knees, switch your hands so the other arm should be in front and tap the chest. Tap the knees, cross arms over to the chest, tap. Tap the knees, switch the other way and tap. So you're just doing a knee tap to a cross chest tap, but your hands are switching each time you do it. You might notice that this gets easier. We did this last week. I don't know if we did this the week before. So we're just going to do a little warm up of this, okay? I'm going to add something in. So you're going to tap the knees, tap the chest, tap the knees, tap the head. Okay, so both hands just come kind of the top of my head and I tap. Knees, switch the chest, knees, tap the head. Knees, switch the chest, knees, head. Knees, chest, knees, head. Head, shoulder, knees, and toes, knees, and toes. Okay, keep going. So now you kind of have to remember which way you crossed the arms over the chest. I want you to keep going. And yes, I am going to make you say the alphabet backwards. It's okay if you don't get all the way through. If you want to start going forward, go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z. And then I want you to do the alphabet backwards starting from Z. Okay, so I'm just going to give you maybe a minute or so. Try to get as far as you can. And you're keeping this pattern. Keep the pattern. If you're able to keep the speed, even better. If you slow down, that's part of the game. Keep working your way through that alphabet. Working your way. I've already messed up a couple times. Maybe get through 3 more letters. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Awesome. All right, relax, everybody. I know that's one of the harder ones that we do. Okay. Okay, let's give the shoulders a little bit of a shake. Let's reach the arms up to the sky. Let's just take a nice roll over all the way down to the ground, seated or standing. Inhale at the bottom, and exhale, roll yourself back up. Good. Open the chest, bring the arms down by your side. We'll close the eyes if that feels right. Just noticing how your body is feeling comparatively to the beginning of class. Finding your breath again. You can wiggle your shoulders or your head around. See if anything feels different for you. I want you to think of one thing you're grateful for today. Let's take one more inhale, one more exhale, and we'll open the eyes. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining today, everybody. I'm sorry I missed you, but I will be back next week live in person, and we will continue with some of this work. Cool. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next week.